Hi, so I don't really have a topic to talk about in this video. I just wanted to reflect my last video that I uploaded on this channel. And I got a lot of hate comments for it, and I think I do deserve those hate comments. In this video, I just wanted to reflect upon it. Not on the hate comments, I just wanted to sit around here, maybe do some therapy talking or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so in my previous video I was talking about how I don't want to do MBBS and just focus on my YouTube, do a BDS, rather get a degree and just focus on my YouTube, earn money through this. And the thing is, when I recorded that video, I was in a mental state where I was very emotionally vulnerable. I was not stable at that time. If you watch that video, you would see that I was really angry, and I have this slight problem with me that I get angry. We all get angry, right? That was not the right time to record that video. I mean, it did get a lot of views, and that's good, but I don't think it was the right time to record that video. And also, as you can see, this is not the right setup to record a YouTube video. I'm literally lying on my bed. I have this blanket over me. This is the blanket that I snuggle in before I sleep, while I sleep. And side topic, you can see this white spot on my face. This is actually like a medicated cream that I use. It's supposed to help me to get rid of all these acne scars. Wait, I'll show you. If you look closely, I have some acne scars, and my dad got me this cream because it's supposed to help me get rid of those scars. And I know this is I'm going completely out of topic here, but isn't that the point of this whole video? But yeah, let's talk about what's gonna happen. So after making that video, I tried convincing my parents that I would rather do BDS, that I don't want to do MBBS. I would rather do BDS. I would rather focus on something else. I didn't tell them that I want to focus on my YouTube because I don't even have a lot of subscribers right now. They would force me to quit YouTube. So I didn't tell them about that. They were persistent. They were asking me that, what is your option? What are you trying to do if not MBBS? I told them that I don't want to be too busy because I'll be too busy if I do MBBS. They told me that, what do you want to do with your time? And I didn't tell them that I want to do YouTube because of the reasons that I just told you. After I'm terrible at convincing people. I tried convincing my mom. My dad is already half convinced, half not convinced. I don't know. I'm terrible at convincing people, I guess. And most probably I'll be going for MBBS. But I don't, I after having kind of a mini clash with my parents, fighting with them, yelling at each other. I don't really yell at my parents, they yell at me. You shouldn't yell at your parents either. I decided to finally, I have this diary over here in which I journal my thoughts. I'm not going to show it to you because because it's my personal thoughts. I'm not going to show it to you, but I did journal about it, and I did find out some things. I'll discuss with you guys. See, first of all, YouTube, the whole career as in, is not very I would say it's very fickle, if that's the right word. What do I mean to say is, let's say my YouTube thing works for a period of 4-5 years. and then after that, what would happen is I would lose relatability with people, and people would stop watching. That is what I mean by the word fickle, because you can lose it all any moment. There is no quote unquote job security. You don't have job security on YouTube. You can lose it all in one day. And it's very hard to get famous over here. I wouldn't say it's like impossible, but it's kind of hard to get famous here, to get attention. And MBBS is like a very safe route. I know, like, if you watch my last video, you would be thinking that am I the same guy who made that video, because I'm in the complete I've completely flipped my script. But yeah, I did journal about it, and I found out that this is not very secure way to like live your life. But that doesn't mean that I will stop uploading videos. I will still keep uploading videos even during I do my MBBS, because this is what I truly love. This is what I like to do. This is my life. And there was this one complication that I was thinking about, that is getting doxxed. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like, if I say something bad on YouTube, and like people in real life, they find out about it, and like people at my job, my boss, they disagree with it, they can fire me, they can just remove me because I said something which they find offensive. That's called getting doxxed. And that's not the thing that I want to happen with me. So I was like overthinking about this, that what if I say something wrong, I get banned, or even worse, people in real life, they find out about it, and then they come at me for things that I talk about. I mean, I don't think I talk about like any random, like I don't think I talk about anything too sensitive over here, but still people can frame me for it, and we don't want that to happen. So like I will keep uploading videos on YouTube, because this is like my creative outlet. Like I really like uploading videos. I really like getting comments. Whenever you guys comment, even negative comments, I kind of like receiving negative comments. And just for a fact, I don't have a specific kink of humiliation. I just like getting comments, be it hate comments, be it like nice comments. I just in general like getting more comments on my videos, more views on my videos. That is something that I like doing. And after recording that video, the last video, I had this realization that you should not speak or make decisions when you are emotionally vulnerable, not emotionally vulnerable, when you are more on the emotional side and less on the logical side. What I journaled is, you should not make decisions. You should not make decisions when you are emotionally like at 1 out of 10, or at like 10 out of 10. I'll explain to you guys. 1 out of 10 emotion would be like, this was the worst day of your life. Like you lost your job, your pet dog died, like your mom who was admitted at some cancer hospital, she died as well, and you tripped and fell, and your face is now like all messed up. That is probably like a 1 out of 10 day. So you should not make decisions on that day, and neither you should make decisions on like a 10 out of 10 day. Like you just won the lottery, your crush, she accepted your friend request or whatever. Why would a crush accept your friend request? That was like kind of stupid of me. Like if that's the best day of your life, you will make stupid decisions on both of these days: best day, the worst day, and the best day. So when you are making decisions, your mental state should be at like a 4 to 6 out of 10. I think right now I'm at like pretty much at the middle. The video that I uploaded, I was probably emotionally at a 2 out of 10, a 3 out of 10 maybe. And I don't want to turn this into like a therapy session for you guys. I mean, this video is mostly for me, and I will put it out on the internet in case someone like somehow relates to this topic. And I don't know, like, why would someone relate to this? Because, you know, maybe they have like something else going on in their life and somehow they relate to this. You know, anything can happen, right? And you know, don't worry, I'm not depressed. I'm just a bit sad. No, I'm not even sad. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I don't need therapy. I don't need anything. I'm just like talking in front of the camera, just like help me consolidate my thoughts, whatever I'm thinking about. And I don't even have a script to talk about. I'm just, you know, I don't know what am I doing here. I'll talk about some lessons if I can think of any. So yeah, most probably I'll be going to, you know, MBBS college, and I'll have to like find time to make videos. And it's not to say that I'm going to be this like, you know, alpha hustle kind of guy. I will like make time out because this is what I love doing. This is what I love doing, making YouTube videos. So don't worry about that. Videos will, you know, I'll keep coming up with videos. You don't have to worry about that. I will find time to, you know, upload videos. That's not a problem, I think. I'll just have to like sacrifice some other areas of my life to, you know, so that I can make YouTube videos. Not very hard. I hope so. And you know, right now I think it's 3 a.m. and I was watching this video of a guy. He was 35 years old, and the video title was something, I woke up as a 35-year-old loser, and I'll tell you how to prevent it. And for some reason I really liked that video, even though I'm just 19 years old. I related to that guy. Like, I know like if I say something which is deep, but you guys would discredit it because I'm not old, I'm just 19 years old. Whereas whereas like whereas a guy who's, you know, 40 years older than me, if he were to open a camera and he were to say something, even the same words that I say, some deep shit, everyone would comment like, bro, thanks, this like enlightened my mind. But for some reason, if I say something like that, then I'm seen as like, you know, okay bro, like shut up, you don't know anything, you don't know any better. So yeah, back on the topic. I watched this video of a guy. He said that he was 35 years old and he woke up like a loser. Basically, he wasted, I don't like to use the word wasted, but I'm going to use it in this context. He said that he wasted most of his life. And, you know, I watched that video, I related to that guy a lot, specifically because just, you know, today I uploaded that video where you know, I was like really emotional that I don't want to do MBBS, I want to do my own business. I'll talk about the business in a bit, and you will be shocked about, you know, whatever the business I'm going to talk about. Yeah, so I watched that guy, and, you know, I really liked his video. Like, you can find his video, you can search on YouTube, you know, 35-year-old, I just woke up as a 35-year-old loser, and I'll tell you how to avoid that. You know, check that video out, it was really good. So yeah, my business, I keep making videos on, you know, my business, and I did start it, but then I just completely stopped. And the thing is, I have a lot of free time on my hands, but For some reason I cannot just sit down and work on it. And I don't blame anyone on it. I'm not blaming anyone for it, because I know it's my own fault that I'm being this privileged procrastinator. uh, and yeah, today I went out with my dad. If you guys didn't know, my dad was in Goa for some days. He had some work there, and he came back yesterday, and he was tired, so he took a leave, and we went out for dinner today, to this restaurant. I'm not going to disclose its name, because I don't know why. I just don't want to disclose its name for some reason. We went there, and I was in this miserable mental state while we were like dining outside. I was still thinking about the same thing, that I don't want to do MBBS, I would rather do BDS. We were like, I was still in that mental state. I was still in that mental state. I couldn't even enjoy that dinner. I couldn't even enjoy it properly. And I think I even like kind of pissed off my dad, but he's like very good at being stoic. I'm not that good. We had the dinner. I came home, I like talked to my mom, like we did a whole group video chat. My mom doesn't live in India, and before the video chat, I just called my mom for like trying to convince her that let me do BDS, I don't want to do MBBS. And she made me talk to her colleague. Her colleague is like an Egyptian dude, like old Egyptian dude, like 45 years old or something. And he was telling me that how he is a pharmacist, his dad is like a general physician or something, and his wife, I mean that dude's mom, I don't remember if the dude's mom or his aunt was a dentist. And so the thing was, this dude had an option. He didn't score that good marks, so he had an option of choosing either being a pharmacist or being a dentist. And this guy's dad, this Egyptian guy's dad, he told him to pick pharmacy over dentistry. And so he was like trying to convince me, bro, the things he said to convince me to like not choose BDS and to rather do MBBS. He said that if you do MBBS, you will get like the number one most beautiful girl. If you do MBBS, then I'm not going to say everything. I'm not going to say all the things, but he tried convincing me hard over there. If you do this, everything will align in the way that you want things to be. You are in this privileged position right now. And I do agree with him. But at that time I was like still in that mental state of trying to prove my point, and I was arguing with him. Not like I was like being rude or anything. I was just having arguments, like peaceful arguments. So that happened. Then after talking to my mom's colleague, I started talking, like we had this whole family group video chat, and we had a lot of disagreements, like specifically me and my mom. My dad he doesn't like say a lot. He's just like, he's okay with anything. And just me and my mom fighting, and my dad at one point he just left the video call because things were not going anywhere. And like I agree, I would have left the video call too if I was in his place. And it ended up being that my mom also she cut the call because she didn't want to hear what I was saying. And it's completely fine, because she is also tired after her job. I don't want to like take too much of her mental space talking about my own things. So that happened, and after that call I was like still like a bit angry. So I started journaling. I watched some YouTube videos, then I started journaling about what has happened throughout the day, how have I been reacting to everything. And I came to the same conclusion that YouTube is not a very steady job. Doesn't mean that I will quit YouTube, but I do realize what my parents are saying. Like, they are right in their own sense. Like, I understand their point. I see what they see now, like somewhat, not exactly. And after that point, I was just laying around, couldn't sleep, so I thought, why not like record a video. I didn't want to like set up my camera like where I usually sit. I sit over there, and have sit around and record the video. I don't know why I just lost my voice. And so I just thought that why not remove the friction from recording videos. Just you know place the camera over here and just speak through it. I know the lighting's kind of bad, you cannot properly see my face, or if you can see my face, everything looks kind of bad from this angle. But that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is just to like let my own thoughts out. I know it sounds kind of rude, but this video is not for you. I mean, if you relate to this video, then excellent. But this video is specifically for my own thoughts, whichever thoughts I was having. And I can just tell for a fact that when I'm done recording this video, I'm going to have the best sleep of my life, because while I'm speaking, I can feel my eyes, they're like really heavy, they're closing down. But I'll still okay, let's talk about future of what this YouTube channel is going to be about. I've stated in multiple videos of mine that I don't want to continue as this neat YouTuber guy, because of mainly two reasons. The first reason is there are like people who make way better videos, who are way more knowledgeable compared to me on the specific need, the specific topic of need. And the second and the more important reason is I don't want to be associated as a guy who makes videos on NEET. Like, come on, guys. I'm done with that part of my life. I want to move on. And not be linked with NEET throughout my life. I'm like, it's already have been like 8 months. I have not 8 months, bro. Not 8 months, like 5-6 months. I've not kept up with the exact time, how much time it has been, but approximately it has been 8 months, and I don't want to like still be associated with NEET. So yeah, I don't really have things to talk about here. I'll probably end up doing MBBS, and I will still keep recording YouTube videos, because this is what I love. This is what I love doing. Like, I have a small community on YouTube. I'll tell you guys something. Like 2-3 months back, when when it was the beginning of my YouTube channel, when it had only been 1 or 2 months, I had like 7 to 10 subscribers. And I used to dream about that, someday I will post a video and it will get 10 comments. I will have 10 people, I will have those 10 people actively engaging with my content. I would talk to those 10 people, and that would be like a dream come true. And now basically I'm at that point. I have like around 10-20 people in my comment section, and I don't sit around and actually and I thought that I would never reach this point of having so many subscribers, but I do have a lot of subscribers right now. I never thought that I would, my goal was to get 100 subscribers before joining college, and college hasn't started yet, and I have close to 2,000 subscribers, which if I were to meet myself 2 months back, and if I were to tell him that before joining college you would have 2,000 subscribers, I would say bullshit. No way, no way I'm going to have 2,000 subscribers. At max, maybe 50 subscribers. No way, 2,000 subscribers. But now we do, and I intend to keep on growing on YouTube, learning new things, making more videos, and yeah. Also, like, I was talking to Chat GPT, and we were having this conversation. I think I like talk to Chat GPT 8 to 10 times a day. I don't know if that's normal. So I was having this conversation with Chat GPT that if I were to like do MBBS, how many hours would I be working a week? And it said that you would be working around 50 to 80 hours a week, and you can convert it into how many hours it is in one day, just divided by 7. It's a lot of hours. And I asked Chat GPT that if I were to go to the gym and if I intend to like post YouTube videos, how many videos will I be able to produce? And it said that you would be able to produce one video every 2 weeks. And I was like, nah bro, nah. And I thought to myself that if I can just give up on my social life in college, if I can just forget about girlfriends, boyfriends, I'm not like homosexual, if I forget about that, my life, and just go to college, go to gym, focus on YouTube, if I just do that, then maybe I will have time to there's no maybe, I will have to find time to like make videos during my college years, because this is what I love, this is what I like doing. So, and the thing with Chat GPT is that it agrees with whatever bullshit you say to it. Like, you could say that, oh Chat GPT, I murdered this person because I was having a bad day, am I a bad person? And Chat GPT would be like, no, that's completely normal, you were having a bad day, that person, you just wanted to let out your anger, so it's like completely fine, but don't do it again. What? This is the kind of thing that Chat GPT would like tell you. So then I shifted the conversation that but if I really try, and if I really give it my all, would I be able to like produce, like, let's be conservative here, would I be able to produce 2 videos a week while doing MBBS? ChatGPT was like, yeah, 100%, if you do it like this, if you do that, then of course you will be able to do that. And for a second I was like happy, and then I realized, oh, okay, it's doing the same thing. So I will do it. I will somehow make time to record videos. Not like tell me if you guys like this form of videos where I'm just laying on my bed, I have a blanket over my shoulders, and just talking to the camera. Also, I had this one best friend, and I haven't talked to him for a while. I don't want to like discuss too much about that friendship over here, because I think that's a very personal matter. But I don't want to like call him selfish or anything, but he has not been replying to my calls. I've been calling him, I've been texting him, and then suddenly like one day I got his text, and I was kind of like pissed off because he wasn't replying to my text. So I just like kind of ignored his messages, and I probably won't get back to him. But the thing is, I know that is my best friend, so I don't know what's going to happen. So also, if I won't be socializing at all in college, then there are no opportunities of me making friends in college, and I have this friend who I won't be interacting with, so basically left with zero friends. Yeah. So I don't know what to say to you guys. This was it for this video. I'll see you guys in next video. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Bye.